Hi guys, welcome to Robin Hood Diaries. Again, today, thank you for joining me as always. Today's show is about my papa and a lot of support that he gave me during an extremely difficult time in my life. But it's not only about that. So I'm going to try and keep this as condensed as I can so y'all can watch it more freely because I know, people are busy. So here we go. First, I have to tell a very brief story which leads into a disclaimer, and then let's move on real quick. I used to be friends with Nancy Aniston, who was Jennifer Aniston's mother. We lived in the same condominium. My best friend also lived there, and she was also better friends with Nancy Aniston. She actually caregave for her for absolutely free until she was rolled out of the building. The woman was a saint, is a saint. Anyway, not Nancy Aniston. So I was approached by AMA, American Media something or other. Did you know that all tabloids are owned by one company? Yeah. Inquirer, Star, you name it. They're all owned by one parent company, America Media, American something, AMA, whatever. Anyway, so they approached me. First of all, the building was being inundated with photographers. They were sneaking in. This was a security building. They go through the garage and everything. So they were approaching everybody. They had names. It's very easy to get through HOA type things. So they approached me. So same thing, they want a story. And when they couldn't get it out of me, they asked if they could go to the president of the HOA, which was aforementioned friend. And I'm like, dude, you really don't want to go to her. Trust me on that one for all the best reasons. Anyway, so what my takeaway from that meeting with an attaché to the CEO of this AMA, whatever the hell, was that they only do fluff pieces on America's sweethearts. So I'm like, well, what do you mean? And they wanted to lead me into a fluff piece about Jennifer Aniston taking care of her mother or whatever, I don't know. Again, disclaimer, everything herein is only based on my experience, and any mischaracterization is completely unintentional. So anyway, they wanted this kind of a piece. Well, that was not exactly what was going on with Nancy and her mother, her daughter, Jennifer. So again, I'm like, well, what do you mean? He's like, look, if it's America's Sweetheart, we only want good stuff and everyone else is fair game. But if it's an America's Sweetheart, we don't touch it unless it's fluffy. So this leads into my disclaimer. In that, this show is all about my dad, pretty much, but a lot of it is about my sister Soleil Moon. And so in the vein of a disclaimer, not a disclaimer, but I want to say that I understand if some or many of you are turned off by this subject vis-a-vis my sister, because again, I was told by the president of all tabloid media that America's sweethearts just are untouchables. Well, not with me. Now, one last thing, there's going to be explicit language here, so maybe, if that offends you, whatever, feel free to scroll. Okay, so I want you to do just a little bit of homework. I'm going to talk fast. This takes place between 1988 and 1991. So the part of the homework is, if you want, to Google 88 to 91 publicity on my papa and my sister. And first of all, you can see how fluffy it is, okay? Everything, pictures and all. It's just repetitive fluff. Now juxtapose that within the context of this story, a brother who doesn't exist and never has since Punky Brewster started, virtually. And so I just want you to, if you are so inclined to, again, take this into context of 1988 to 1991, my father heavily involved in my life. Now, I don't Google my shows, and I don't know, like, timeline